What's up, everybody? It's Keefe from Ghost Cult Magazine, ghostcultmag.com, and I'm hanging out here with Richie from Incite. What's up, brother?
All is good, man. Good to see
Yeah,
you again. How's the metal world?
the metal world is awesome. How's the metal world with you, man?
It's kicking ass. We're chugging along, killing them, killing them, killing them, killing them.
Killing them every day on this tour. We are here at Le Poisson Rouge in New York City for the big combined collaborative Soulfly, Evergrey, Unearth, Incite, Shattered Sun, some other bands tour. Probably leaving out some people. Going to offend some people. Sorry. Uh, Killer tour. Strictly getting the tour with Soulfly, Unearthed, and you guys. Um, how's it going? How's the tour going so far? It's just 2 days in.
Yeah, no, we're about a weekend.
Okay.
It's been raging. We kind of started in Texas and took big jumps, to get over here. And, it's leg two with Unearth and us and Soulfly. And, we expected a killer time, and that's what we've gotten. I mean, like Cincinnati's and Syracuse and all these places have come out and just ripped. All the bands are so sick. We have these new bands, Arrival of Autumn. They're good dudes. They're young. They're developing, and followed by this band Prison that I've come to grow a lot of respect for what they're doing. You're gonna watch tonight, you'll see, and you start talking about them, which is cool. So I think every band pushes the next, and fans are getting a killer show.
Well, that's really awesome because you are now in the veteran band, and you were previously that young band that was opening for everybody and playing every festival at noon or
Yeah.
2 o'clock, and now you are that more senior band showing them the ropes. It's come full circle.
Yeah, it's cool. Trips blows my mind. That's come so fast and so far. Because to me, I still feel like a new band. I still feel like we're trying to make our way. And push everybody out or whatever it is. And we're getting there. The band's continually growing. The albums are continually getting better and pushing envelopes. And I think we're still just, like I said, feel like a new band. Just want to keep going hard.
Awesome and easy to feel like a new band when you have a brand new record out. Built to Destroy is out now. Came out at the start of the year. Got ahead of everybody. It's challenging with those releases, man. You got to get out there on Minus Head Records, excellent label. You guys should all check out if you're not familiar with great bands on that label. Kind of underrated label. It's been around for quite a while. And the record is crushing, man. It's definitely my favorite of all of yours. I know that what happens is when a band first hits, that very first thing, that very first song that's like sets it off, fans get attached to. But I feel like Incite is a band that you guys have grown and progressed every album, and so this record is definitely, to me, your tops.
Yeah, and I think that's come with the consistency of the band. I think in those first 7 years, it was young idiots trying to figure out what the hell we were, what we were doing, and come up in hell and oppression, and now built to destroy. I think we locked that members in, the vibe in. Drew Tang is writing some killer shit and bringing a vibe that we needed. A fresh feeling of just solos and all these things we had always wanted but couldn't get to. And like you said, it translated into, I think, yes, our best album, and just scratching the surface too, which is cool. And what's gonna happen with us is exciting, man. I think we're gonna finally get that respect we deserve musically. I think people have always kind of just been like, oh, they're that band of that dude. And now I think it's, become so much more than that. And, I see that in the growth, from being an opening band to now, being a main supporter, supporting the main bands. And, the growth's been killer.
Awesome. I'm glad you mentioned that. I don't. I feel like you have escaped that trap. I know that. It's kind of like being Ken Griffey Jr. He had to become awesome by himself to get out of the shadow of his awesome dad. And,
Sure.
of course, you can't fight. The first family of metal is the Cavaleras, man. Nobody would dispute it. Max, your mom, brothers, uncle, everybody. And so you, I think, have stepped out now of the shadows. You, in your own right, have your own identity, your own band, your own personality, your own stage presence. And it's hard, though. Like, I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit, but I think it's tough. It's got to be a little tough.
When I started out, I took it more to heart. I think now that I've gotten older, and the old man's getting older, and I think it's kind of more just being excited to try to carry on the legacy of Cavalera, and that, rather than putting pressure on myself, makes me more excited because my old man killed it. We're beginning to get to where I feel like we're killing it nightly and album wise. So it's more rather than a pressure, more excitement to see if I can continue for 20 more years and keep Cavalera a staple name in heavy metal. And that's more what it's morphed into over the years now. So if I hear it, or I'm not so like, oh God, why does this happen? And I understand that media and clickbaits and things are the way they have to be. The wording just has to be the way it has to be for whatever. So I go along with the ride, and I let the band and our performances and our albums speak for us.
Fuck that clickbait nonsense, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah. So
We try not to do that. It's hard. The news cycle is hard on music journalism, but we try not to.
us as artists do it too. We want likes and views and the same thing. So I think it's everybody. It's the way the society is, and there's it's nothing wrong with it. It's just more or less we got to just do what we do, and that'll make everything be understood.
Right on. And I think you guys carry yourself very well on social media. I think the fans dig it. You're still, like I said, I know you've been around 15 years, but you're still kind of a young guy. And I think you have that kind of young presence on socials. And the other L is good at social media, Twitter, like hilarious. So like Insta's your thing. I think you guys do a very nice job.
Thanks, man. Because we love it. We take a big thing in that, growing up with bands that we loved, and all we'd get was like a poster on the wall or a fanzine. So for us, it's like, man, if we can give them everything and let the band feel like a giant family rather than, oh, these are just fans coming. We're all metalheads. So together is better than anything, man. So we've really built that from the ground up, and it's paid off.
Word. Definitely glad you mentioned Drew earlier. I did kind of feel like with Drew and L, it's a little bit of like an Avengers Assemble, because it's a bunch of not just writers and not just performers, but personalities and characters. People can contribute to sort of the bigger, broader brand of the band, and it does matter, and it does help. If you have guys who are just standing there playing, looking at their navel, and that's fine. There's plenty of great players out there, but like guys who can actually, L is ridiculous. You're ridiculous on stage. I think, and then that carries over when you meet fans at the merch table or whatever. So I think having kind of a personality and a presence as a band is almost kind of weirdly underrated and not really regarded these days, but you guys seem to do it well.
I completely agree. I think everything now is more torn the gimmick, backing tracks, perfection. And with us, we grew up on these Panteras and the early Slayers, Exoduses, all these bands that just plugged in, ripped. And that's what every show for us is. And to find four dudes all on that same page where no matter how bad we're hurting, whatever it is, we go out there and throw it down. No matter how many shows in a row, we throw it down. And it just, like you said, so much personality. Drew has got his feel, L, Lennon. But then when we're together, it works. It's like I said, we're a lot of that Pantera feel in our imagery and the way we carry ourselves. We're big time burners, and I think it's just growing up with great bands that we were fortunate to see live and just be like, they have lights, a PA, and them, and that's making 20,000 people lose their shit. They don't need to blow up fucking giant things or shoot lasers out of their dick or whatever the hell people are doing now. It was just metal and enjoying yourself.
Word. Sometimes lasers out of the dick are okay. And like, I saw Iron Maiden this summer and they were phenomenal,
sure.
but there's really only
For
a couple
sure.
of Maidens and Metallicas and Tools and Ghosts, and there's only a few people can really, and Rob Zombie. There's only like literally 5 bands in the world that could put on a huge show and pull it off.
And dude, we were getting where like, even the local bands, they'd show up, dude, and they've got, flash pods and, geysers and shit. You're just like, come on, man. Like, first just kick ass and then get to that point,
Right, and that's where the groundwork comes in. You guys have laid the groundwork with these other albums and grown. And so, again, I definitely implore anybody watching to check out Built to Destroy, man. Solid, fiery record. The new stuff crushes live. I caught you guys earlier in the year when the record was brand new, and I felt like you were first up, and I think it's like you guys rolled out of the tour bus or the van, shuffled onto stage, tuned up, and then just like soon as a hi-hat hit happens or a guitar chord is played, something takes over, man, and you guys just switch goes on.
It's true, and that's what I was saying earlier. It doesn't matter what we're going through. It once we go up there, it's like we just kill it. And earlier this year on that tour, we were driving through a blizzard in Oregon, man. A fucking tree branch fell and destroyed the front of our window. So, we're about 500 miles from Petaluma. We drove this van 20 miles with our heads out the window to see parked it, jumped in a fucking rental, and raced. And 5 minutes before our set started, we jumped on stage and threw down like you said every fucking night, man. You know, there's just nothing that will stop us from just getting what we want to where we want it. You know, it's locked in.
Word. I love hearing that. Passion and drive. You got to have those things.
Yes.
Can't make
Don't
it
stop.
without them.
Don't stop.
Don't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop.
Yep.
Just as we wind this down, you got a long road ahead of you on this tour. Not a lot of days off. What else is on the horizon for the rest of this year and that you can talk about and into early 2020?
Yeah, when we wrap this up, you know, we got the call from Josta and crew, you know, Hey Breed, to go rip a couple shows with them in Prong. So we're gonna, you know, take a couple weeks after this and then go do that stateside, which, you know, we've that's one of the white whales we've been trying to play with, you know, Hey Breed. So to have that happen, you know, is gonna be incredible. And then we're gonna kind of break for December, you know, and enjoy some holidays. And you know, the wives are starting to get real pissed, and you know, you gotta try to balance everything, and then hit it hard. Starting next year, we go to Europe and UK and do a 5-week headline tour finally for the first time. Which, you know, Europe's been growing so big for us and so fast that you know, the time is now to get over there and just really go insane. And then America, America, America after that. So really exciting. You know, hopefully a new album, you know, in another year or two. But we're just wanting to play right now. We're not in a hurry to do anything but just keep kicking ass.
Steady as she goes, man.
Yes.
I have to say that I have gotten to watch your whole career, maybe even before your career. And I'm really proud of the things you've earned and what's ahead of you. I'm excited for.
Thank you so
Thanks
much,
so much,
bro. That
Richie
means a lot.
Cavalera, Incite. I'm Keefe from Ghost Cult Magazine. We're out.